Coach, last season, it was kind of a rebuilding year, if that's what you want to call it. You guys took a lot of lumps, but what have you seen in the offseason give you a little more confidence for this season?
Probably the biggest thing is just our leadership. We've had guys, seniors as well as some underclassmen included, just step up, do some great things in the weight room and our conditioning program. Probably the second thing is our conditioning. I think our conditioning is tremendously better compared to what it was last year. And those are all encouraging things. And then the third thing that I've really have been impressed with this year is just how the guys get along. They're really working for each other and working with one another well.
Due to, maybe not having a great year last year like what you wanted, you have some experience coming back. So how's that going to help you?
Well, you can't account for that experience, and we do have a lot of experience coming back. The last 2 years, we've started a lot of underclassmen, so that we have experience across the board, and I think that's going to pay off for us. At least I hope it does. And number one for these kids, I hope they have a great season. They've worked hard. They're really good kids, and they've taken their lumps throughout the last 2 years. So they're due and looking for some great things for them. But as a coach, you always strive for that perfection. You probably never get there, but you always hope that the kids have a great season, they stay healthy, and you do good things.
You have a lot of big athletic kids coming back. What are you going to be doing on offense? Anything differently?
We'll do some things differently. We'll continue to spread things out a little bit in our passing game as well as our run game, but we're trying to get back to more of our wing tee run style. And so we do have some physical kids and some very good athletes. And so I think the wing tee fits with what we do, and not necessarily a traditional wing tee. Like I said, we'll do some things out of some spread formations, but I'm looking forward to working with these guys.
Losing Tyler, anything about that? I mean, how has that affected anything for you?
It really hasn't. If anything, it's brought the kids closer together. They've worked harder to fill that void. He's a great kid, and I wish him the best. But throughout the course of a season, you lose kids here and there. We had some kids that maybe aren't going to play, and I think when you have a situation where you've had a couple losing seasons, you find out who your players are, you find out who really wants to be there, and you can rely on those kids. And that's really been our focus, kind of a warrior mentality. We'll have who we have, and whoever shows up to play football for Marion Center is who we'll rely on, and that's who we'll depend upon, and I think that's brought the kids closer together.
Have you set any goals yet, or haven't you gotten that far yet, or talked about anything?
Yeah, we've talked as a team, and obviously you want to win the conference. You want to win your first game, you want to win the conference, you want to win, District 6 championship, but, some short-term goals, just getting ourselves in better shape, making ourselves stronger, and coming closer together as a team and playing for one another are all goals that we've been working towards and the things that we've accomplished so far.
Anything special about this particular group, or what have you seen from them kind of in the off season?
Again, I go back to the fact of their leadership and how well they get along together. They really, and I've had coaches, I've had players come up to me and say, Coach, we just feel like a tighter-knit group. We feel like we're working better together this year, and that's a great thing. That's a great sign that you have guys who are willing to work together, because when it comes down to it, those 11 guys on the side or on the field are who you have to rely upon, and those guys are pulling well for each other.
Have you put any thought yet into the competitiveness of the conference this year?
Yeah, our conference is always competitive, and I'm sure the WESTPAC feels the same about their conference. But, we open up with Ligonier, and they're going to be tough. And then we go with Homer City, and they're going to be amazing because they had very few seniors last year and did some great things. And it doesn't get any easier. I mean, it doesn't matter who you play in the Heritage Conference week to week. There's always talent, there's always toughness, they're always well coached. And that's probably the big thing, is the coaching staffs in the Heritage Conference always have their guys ready to play. So there's never a weak team you can look at and say, oh my gosh, this should be a walk through the park, especially coming off a 1-9 and a 2-8 season. So, they're all going to be tough.
Do you feel like things are going to continue to build and you're going to keep heading in the right direction here this year?
Well, I certainly hope so. I mean, like I said, my number one hope is for our kids to have a great season. I want them to stay healthy and have a great year. And I like some of the things that our junior high coaches are doing and seeing some of the things in our young kids. The fact that we've started a lot of young kids the last couple of years, I think we are going in the right direction. Even though we didn't win a lot of games last year, I felt we were a more competitive team last year. I can see us going in the proper direction. So hopefully we continue that this year.